Hey guys, me Keisha, and I'm here with this week's All Tea All Shade Real Housewives of Potomac Season 10, Episode 6 review. So on this week's episode, Jizzy gives out shots to the ladies called Shady Shots. And Kay's is called the Gizelle Hater because she found out that Wendy said that Kay had some residual feelings about her. So she want to know like what's good, what's tea. So Kiana like low key kind of playing dumb and was like they should discuss it when Wendy feels better and when she's around. So Gizelle was like, okay, no problem. We can table it for now. So back at the resort, the ladies are preparing for bed, and we hear a producer telling Stacy that People Magazine got wind of her and Chris. So she's sitting down talking to Ashley and Jassi, and she tells them that while she was separated from Timu, that, you know, she was dating, he was dating, and Chris was one of the people that she did go out with. He was very nice, sweet guy, gentleman, this, that, and the third. And they was like, did you fuck him? Basically. And she was like, no, absolutely not, or whatever. But Ashley doesn't believe her. I believe her. I don't think that she had relations with Chris. And if she did, they grown. And like, what's the big whoop? You just want to run back and tell Monique so you can have something to talk about? Like, come on, make it make sense. And I would be very remiss if Monique come on her with an attitude about Stacy dating Chris. Like, if so, like, girl, we ain't got time for that because that's just too much playing, all right? But from what we've seen, unless it's all an act, Stacy is a prude, okay? Now, it could be an act that she could be the freakiest bitch in the room for all we know. But until we see otherwise, I don't think that she would smash him that easily. You know what I'm saying? Now, Ashley, we know you would, okay? Anybody can get that cootie cat. So, it's the next day, which is the last day of the trip, and Wendy asks Stacy what's wrong with her lip. And she was like, what? It looked bad? Like, what's going on? It looked bad? So she said she had an allergic reaction to something or whatever. And it happened the night before. But it was just so funny. And I like that scene because we see this friendship building between Stacy and Wendy. And I actually like it. It's very organic. It's very out of the blue, you know, but they make a great pair, a good duo. They're funny together. I really like them. So they charter a boat for the last day, and Wendy still isn't feeling all the way 100%, but she's feeling a lot better. And she really don't want no drama, but Gizelle was like, we got to have a group little meeting. So they all sit down, and Gizelle asks Wendy about the Kiana situation. So before Wendy can even speak, Kiana goes to tell her side. And I was like, well, why you couldn't say none of this last night? What, you had time enough to practice what you was gonna say? Like, because I thought you said wait for Wendy to see what Wendy had to say about the situation, because remember, you was acting like you ain't know what the hell Gizelle was talking about. But Kiana was like, I don't think I ever said I didn't like you. I said I was upset with you about the situation that happened to me at the nightclub that night. I told Wendy I'm upset with Gizelle because she never called me to check up on me. Now, mind you, this was about 2 years ago when this happened. Now, I need to know, did Wendy bring this up knowing that this was a conversation that she and Kiana had 2 years ago? Or was this a conversation that they just had recently about the incident 2 years ago? Because what are we doing here? Like, really, what are we doing here? Okay. This is what I want to know. So Gizelle says at the time she was dealing with her father having a brain tumor, having brain cancer. We all know that at their reunion, that she had to leave immediately after to go check on her father, to go be with him because, you know, it was dire at that point. No, not at the reunion. I'm sorry. After that night at the nightclub, she had to rush back to be with her dad or whatever. So once again, you're making me side with Rumpelstiltskin, and I don't like it. Okay. And like she said, like, you were the furthest thing from my mind at the time. I'm worried about my daddy, you know what I'm saying, who died very quickly after it. So Gizelle was like, you had to call a plastic surgeon to get your situation straight. My father is no longer here. You are the furthest thing from my mind at that time. And Kiana take off them glasses, honey, with that fence attached to them. I don't know where the fuck she got them glasses from, but baby, she thought she was doing it, okay? That was a lot for me, okay? I don't know why she had them blinds. All he was missing was the string, honey, to pull them down. Them was a mess. But she took off them glasses, honey, and says that that was her feelings. Like, she's standing on business behind the fact that she still felt some type of way then. After hearing this woman explain to you what she was going through at the time, which to me, you sound crazy. You sound crazy and you look crazy, okay? To even say that, well, that's how I feel. That's how I felt. This how I feel. This, that. Are you fucking serious? Like, this girl father, who she's extremely close to, was going through something horrific. Girl, ain't nobody thinking about you with a knot on your forehead. Like, really, ma'am? Really? Like, under different circumstances, okay. But under this one, Kiana, you are once again reaching for the stars. And I need for you to have several. Like, you have really popped yourself in the foot this season, because you're not coming back next season. You have done it. Any momentum that you had gained last season, down the toilet, because none of your grievances make sense, and you have totally alienated yourself from these women. I don't know who told you to come into this season acting the way that you were acting, but you were sabotaged, or either you sabotaged yourself, okay? Because you are insufferable this season. So Tia jumps in and was like, Gizelle, I know exactly how you feel. I lost my father. I know what you were going through was traumatic. And, you know, I 1000% get it. Kiana, I know that what you went through was very traumatic. You know what I'm saying? Can nobody take away your feelings, you know? And she just tells them that, you know, this could be solved, basically. And I love the way she handled it. Tia is doing a great job as a first-year housewife. She is funny, she's charming, she's charismatic, she's understanding. She really isn't feeding into the negativity and talking about people. Like, she's really getting to know the girls and learn who they are. And I just love how she mediated that situation, because she didn't egg it on. She didn't side with one. She really showed both women where they were wrong and where they were right and how they could fix it. And I loved it. She is having a stellar debut. Stellar. I love me some Tia. She will most definitely be back next season, okay? So Kiana at this point is crying. And I'm wondering in my head, like, are you crying because you know you're wrong and you know you done fucked up again? Or are you crying because, you know, some people get mad when they cry. Cry when they get mad or whatever. I didn't know where the tears came from, but it's just like, cry me a river, Justin Timberlake. I could care less. But her and Gizelle end up making up. And hopefully it's done. Meanwhile, Jassi doing front flips off the boat into the ocean, twerking in the ocean with Ashley. Jassi is showing up and showing out, like I told y'all on the last review, okay? Jassi is going to make sure that she comes back next season. Baby, she gonna do whatever she gotta do, okay? I told y'all on the last video, that lady will do anything to be a reality star, okay? She would do anything. And she's giving everything that Kiana should have been giving this year, but for whatever reason is not. And she is taking your spot, Flash. She's fun. You know, she's getting in the mix of things. She has a storyline via it being very messy with the wedding and the baby mama and the stepkids and who was with who first. But yeah, she's taking your spot, Flash. She really is. So at dinner, Ashley brings up Stacy declining to be in Stacy's wedding. And I was very shocked that Jassi would even ask Stacy to be in her wedding. They hadn't even known each other but 5 minutes. Like, you ain't got no friends? I was very shocked by that. But Stacey was like kind of confused about it being brought up because she had already explained to Jassi that she had a family thing or whatever. But in her confessional, she states that that's the same weekend her cannabis line is coming out. I don't understand why she just wouldn't say that instead of acting like it was a family thing, like something dire. Even though that is something dire, but like, if you say it's family, people gonna be like, oh, no problem. You know what I'm saying? And just say, so sorry, I have a prior commitment. That's the weekend my cannabis line is debuting. I might not be able to come to the wedding. I might be able to come to the reception. I don't know, but I got you on a gift, girl, whatever. I didn't really understand why she lied about that. But she was very caught off guard looking at Ashley like, you trying to like put me on blast or something? But it didn't really go anywhere. So I don't think that Ashley knew that she'd lied, because if she had known, she would have brought it to the table. So Tia then calls out Jassi for saying that her pics look filtered. They showed us a picture of Tia. It did look filtered. But like, girl, all y'all heifers filter y'all photos. Everybody in America filter their photos for the most part. Like, who gives a rat's ass, okay? So Jassi was like, let me tell you something, Tia. You come into this group and try to act like you don't know what's going on with that accent. So word on the curb is that some of them think that her accent is very put on, because sometimes she doesn't have it. I don't care. So then she says, you were the same person that sat in that van and told me the owner of the restaurant was really looking at you 14 days before my wedding. You are wrong. Don't you play with me, Tia. And when she got to that 14 days, everybody was looking like, bitch, are you have bath salts? What is wrong with you? Like, she was obviously looking for a moment, honey, and she was channeling old girl from Passions. Remember that little Puerto Rican girl from Passions with the blonde black hair? Baby, it was like, are you all right, girl? Like, you doing way too much. Like, she overperformed that. It was like, Jassi, ring it on in, girl. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. You have jumped the ship, okay? So Tia was like, oh my God. You have anger issues. What's wrong with you, dear? Cheerio, ho. So everybody was like, Jassi, it was a joke, girl. It's obvious, like, she was not being for real, right? So Kiana in her confession was like, we clearly know Mr. Sunshine, who was the owner of the restaurant, ain't no competition for Darius. And, you sure? Because when they put their pictures side by side, Mr. Sunshine looked like he could be Darius' daddy. I mean, Darius is not no looker, okay? He is not a good looker, okay? Like, let's just be honest. And Mr. Sunshine looked like, what's up? I can't think of his name right now, from WWE. His real name is Ron Killings or whatever. Oh my God, I'm having a brain fart. Oh my God. R-Truth. He looked like R-Truth, my nigga. Okay. And yeah, like, Darius is not a prize. Sorry. Like, Mr. Sunshine could very much be competition for Darius if we're going off looks. Just saying. But Tia apologizes for offending her or whatever. It was like, I don't know you. You obviously don't get how I play. Da 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 da. And I loved once again how she handled the situation. Tia is handling her first year like I would handle my first season. Like, she will check you when you need to be checked, but then she also come behind it with a joke to lighten the mood, because it's not that deep. We're filming a reality show. It's not like we're performing rocket science here, okay? Like, I love that she's taking everything so lightly and as a joke, because at the end of the day, it's all funny. I would be laughing. You know what I'm saying? She is having a good old time and not taking none of this shit serious, because at the end of the day, she got a coin. At the end of the day, she a princess. At the end of the day, she come from money. Like, this don't move her, and I love it. So then, after they leave dinner to head back to the resort to have their little slutty bachelorette party, we see on the screen 30 minutes later, cameras and audio are down, as they head back to the resort. And we see like camera phone footage of Jassi and Stacy having this really intense, intimate conversation. And when they're back at the when they're back at the resort, they're on a golf cart talking, and they're in the back of a golf cart, and Stacy and Wendy are in the front, and they overhear Angel and Jassi talking, and you hear Angel telling Jassi about this chick that's jealous of her. We hear her say it was clear something was going on. She was a snaggletooth and stingy haired hot piece of trash, and I'm like, who is they talking about? We didn't know what was going on. Stacy and Wendy didn't know what was going on, but they was trying their hardest to ear hustle, right? So all we know is that this woman allegedly was trying to harm her family or was either messing around with Bobby at this point. So they get back to the resort. It's the slutty bachelorette party. Everybody dressing up in lingerie and all of this good stuff. And here goes Stacy coming out dressed like a German milkmaid. I was like, where are you going, Guggenheim? Yo, Stacy is a character, which leads me to believe, like I said earlier, Stacy gives me very much she's playing a character on this show, and that we're really not getting real Stacy. I think that she's putting on airs, and I live for it. I live for it. She's in on the joke. She knows exactly what she's doing. She knows exactly what she's doing, and it's working, and I'm here for it. So they get to the party, and Angel in her confessional saying she's trying to have fun, but she's bothered by the conversation that she had with Jassi. Here we go again. DMX. So they twerking, they having a great time, and Ashley scissoring Jassi, and it's just like, what in the Cinemax After Dark am I watching? Okay, what's happening here? What's going on? Ashley, I'm so sick of you living out your dyke fantasies through this show and through these women. Just become a lesbian. Please just become a lesbian. I'm sick of it. Then she pull out this chocolate pen and put it all on Jassy's chest and licking it off her chest up in her neck, and everybody looking like, what in the Ellen DeGeneres and that wife of hers is going on? Like, what is happening? It was just too much. Like, Ashley, just living your truth, girl, and stop trying to date these old ass men that you obviously ain't attracted to. Like, girl, please stop. So then Stacy get up and whip Jassi in German, child, talking about some Guggenheim and Schloff. What would you do for a Klondike bar? Yo, it was funny as hell. Then Angel gets up and say, your punishment is having a big mouth. Of course, that's going to lead to people saying, why she got a big mouth? What she do? Gizelle asks that. And Angel says, this is your bachelorette. Let's just have some fun. If that was the case, you would have never brought it up. Why would you even go there? Everybody's having a great time for once. And here you go, Eeyore, bringing down the mood once again. You miserable bitch, you. So everybody like, what's going on? And Wendy was like, what was y'all talking about earlier? Because it looked, kind of intense. And Angel was like, somebody messaged Jassi about me and gave her some incorrect information. Jassi says, I was told there were some instances where she made people feel excluded and left out. So Angel then goes on to explain that when she first started dating her husband, Bobby, this girl in Chicago where he was playing for at that time reached out to her to welcome her into the circle of, wags. They became friends, but this girl allegedly snaked her and reached out to Bobby's agent and told the agent that Angel had stolen money from his account and she'd hidden birth control so she could get pregnant without him knowing. And so the agent, like his publicist, his whole team called him like, yo, what's going on? And when Angel found out about this, she let the girl have it. Now, this was years ago. Apparently, we don't know if it was true or not. Whether it was, he married her. So it really is null and void. So Angel was like, was it another wag that came to you? And Jassi was like, yeah, it was another one. And she said she had an eyewitness as to how you treated another person. I heard that you had a reputation of being very mean. So Gizelle and Ashley applaud Jassi for the way that she handled it, because instead of, confronting her with this on camera or in front of the group, she did it when cameras was down, just on some real type shit, which was very dope of her, because anybody else would have used it for a moment on the show. 1000%. Gizelle would have used it for a moment on the show. Ashley would have probably used it for a moment on the show. Wendy probably would have done it. Like everybody else would have done it. So I got to give props where props is due with the fact that Jassi did step to her about this off camera, which means like she wasn't trying to put you on Front Street or nothing like that. She was honestly trying to ask her a question, because she even stated, I hadn't seen this side of you. So that's why I wanted to come to you and ask you myself. None of this would have even been brought onto camera if your dumb ass wouldn't have brought it up. You outed yourself. Then want to sit up here and play victim and once again get all, nobody likes me. Oh God. Oh, let me call Bobby. Everybody hates me. Everybody hates Angel. Oh, God. Like, girl, you are such a Debbie Downer. You are so depressed. Why did you come on this show? What is going on with you? You bring down the mood constantly. So, Angel, however, is looking at them like, how dare you applaud her for even coming at me with some shit like this? Like, you could tell, like, in her mind, her wheels was turning on some, they don't have my side on this. This is not going the way I thought it would go when I outed this. So Angel starts crying. Thomas, I'm just tired. I'm just tired. Tired of what? And they was like, girl, when did this happen? She was like, 2016. They was like, girl, oh my God. Like, that was damn near 10 years ago. And at the end of the day, you married to him, so we don't care. Like, they looking at her like she's fucking ridiculous, which she is. And when that doesn't work, she gets up and says, I'm just going to go to bed. I'm just going to go. Y'all have a good time. And everybody looking like, really, girl? Like, what? So her and them big ass angel wings and her bloomers go outside and her knees knocking, and she get the calling Bobby talking about she ready to come home. And I'm ready for you to go home. Kiana go outside to check on her and ask her, are you all right? And she's like, yeah, I'm all right. I'm just on the phone with Bobby. Meanwhile, it's tears just streaming down her face. Gizelle come out and check on her when she was like, I'm on the phone with Bobby. Gizelle was like, okay, girl, and went back in. Inside, Wendy is telling the girls, like, it's always an issue with this chick. Like, no matter what we say or do, she's going to always feel like we are trying to attack her. And everybody is just over Angel. She is overly dramatic. She's overly sensitive. She is in her head. She thinks that everybody's out to get her. She causes a lot of drama. She brings a lot of drama onto herself. I know a lot of people are like, is she suffering from postpartum? She could very well be and don't know it. I also think that it could be a situation where she thought that she would be able to handle this environment. And then now that she's in it, she's realizing that she's in over her head. It also could be a situation where she's not comfortable in her skin because her body, isn't the way that it was prior to having her baby. So she might feel insecure. It could be a myriad of things. But regardless, it's like, just quit the show then, bitch, because you are just insufferable. And you and Kiana together are giving us Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. It's just like, girl, you just look homeless and just sad. And I know you got to be embarrassed. You have to be embarrassed watching yourself. And it's obvious to me that you will not be coming back next season. You and Kiana can wrap it up because y'all will not be coming back at all. You're a one and done, ma'am. One and done. But I'm going to give this week's episode of Potomac, I'm going to give it a B+. It was cute. It was cute. I really enjoyed Stacy this episode and Tia. They were the highlights of this week's episode. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this week's episode. Let's talk about it down below in the comment section. Please make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications so you know my videos drop. I love you guys, and I will see you on my next video. Bye.